Welcome to Birth Life TV. Still on the issue of marriage. Today we want to talk about a very important aspect of marriage, and that is the two elements of marriage, or I can say the two properties of marriage. And they are very important because the crises in marriages today, we can relate them to an improper understanding of these properties of marriage. And these two important properties of marriage are unity and indissolubility. Now, I want to use something to illustrate this unity and indissolubility of marriage. I want to use sugar and salt. If you look at these two components, they have different tastes, different texture. They are different in their uses are even different. So just imagine in your own house what you use sugar for, what you use salt for. So we want to use these two components to illustrate the unity and indissolubility of marriage. Now, try this in your home. Bring sugar, bring salt in same quantity. Mix them together. If you mix them together, you have a new component. You have a new substance. And this substance, the taste changes. The taste changes insofar as the two are in the same quantity. Now, the same thing is applicable in marriage. The man has his own taste. The woman has his own taste. They vary in their background. They vary in their exposure. They vary in their academic pursuits. They vary in their perspective and ideologies of life. But these two are coming together to form a team, to form one unit. So when we say that the property of marriage is unity, just like the same way you are to mix salt and sugar to have new components, new substance, the same way it is with marriage. So when a man and a woman goes to the church and then they exchange vows, and the priest or the pastor accepts their vows in the presence of the people of God, in the presence of God, they are no longer two, but one. Just the same way our mixture of salt and sugar gives us a new substance, the same way the mixture of a man and a woman comes up with a new substance, a new entity. So it is we are no longer going to see a man or a woman, but we are now seeing something new. And that is why Christ said, the two shall become one. The second property of marriage is indissolubility. It simply means that once they have been joined, once that new substance has been formed, you can no longer separate them. Maybe also you can try at home also, having mixed salt and sugar, try separating the two. You find out it will be definitely impossible for you to separate the two because you now have new substance. Same way it is in marriage. Immediately the two have been joined together in that sacrament of matrimony, that union, that entity formed cannot be separated again. So you can try it also at home, mix these two and try separating them. The same thing is applicable in marriage. Once the union has been established, once that entity has been established, you can no longer separate them. So what should be our concern is, how do we maintain this union? How do we maintain this unity and not thinking about what we can do to separate them? Today in our society, people are clamoring for separation, for divorce. I challenge you, mix salt and sugar and try separating them. If you are not able to separate them, then you cannot separate marriage. You cannot separate a validly consented marriage